All right, Mike. I've got 7 of these. I got to get you another one. Okay. We have got. Here's a report that the government tried to give 100 senators a satellite phone. They say for in case of a natural disaster like a solar flare frying the infrastructure, or a deep impact, or an insurrection, or a nuclear annihilation. And only 50 of the senators said no. Mike, what if this is true? What's next? So what's this about?
Yeah, it's true. And they've given out all 100s. They better say no, or they're not going to be able to face their constituents.
So you're
If the
saying all
royal,
100 took the phone?
they're going to say no in front of the cameras. They're going to say
Okay,
no in front of reporters because
okay.
if their constituents find out that they took them,
Then they
they're going
won't.
to,
They're done.
they're
They're
going to hang
toast.
them. They're going to
Right,
say, you're
right,
not with us,
right,
you're with
right.
them.
You're right.
And so they make their clear departure. But this is part of a brand new protocol that must go in place. It must go in place, right? One of the biggest issues is if the communications grid is tampered with. And let me tell you what that, let me translate this in easier terms. Um, for one, we're going to have communications, right?
Yeah.
But those communications could be tampered with. And what I mean is, if our communications systems are compromised, senators cannot talk on the phone.
No.
If our communication systems are compromised, right, they cannot talk in front of a computer. So they're going to have to use a different mode of communication on a very private stream. That's what those phones are for. I know that one of the biggest disasters we face right now is that just about every country has already spied and has access to other countries. Right?
Yeah.
The USA has access to everybody. That was broken when Europe found out that we tapped everything they
That's
had,
true.
right?
That's true.
So we have access to everybody. Well, China also has access to everybody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now that this has become a reality, and now that China is about to hold some countries hostage, I'll say that one more time. They're about to hold some countries hostage, right? Why? Because they have the upper hand right now. That's why. Because they know all about these other countries, and they're somewhat savvy in the technical field when it comes to negotiating, because you already have information. They are turning why do you think all of a sudden the people in the USA have turned against the government? You only read that in spy books back in the 60s and 70s, right? And in the 80s. We didn't see that for real. But now we see the populace has turned against the government. And it's sad that hardly anybody can recognize what's happening here. The USA has been infiltrated to a degree, right? There have been plants here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
These stories and all these different things that people are getting, they're just getting steamed up about, right? These have been sewn into our society purposely. In fact, every single last lead that has been gathered when it comes to people turning against the government, it comes from 2 sources: Russia, right, or China.
Yeah.
But here's the sad part: it's been working. Why? Because they observed the citizens. They found out what the citizens actually want. They know about the culture and everything else. And so what they've done is they had people that were paid hundreds of millions of dollars, right, on all sides of government, among the people, to start sowing these ideas into people. And look, what we have right now is it is directly related to what China and Russia has been doing. And people can't recognize it. The only way to recognize this is to go back in time to the 80s. So you can stand around the people and say that will never happen, right? China's
Right.
trying to turn us against each other. They actually said that. I remember back in the 80s and 90s, they said Russia is trying to turn the citizens against the government. And they said, we're never going to let that happen. I remember those speeches.
Yeah.
But now, where are those people at? Where are
Yeah.
they at? They can't remember. They cannot remember, and the people think they have a legitimate gripe against the government. There is no solving what's happening right now because there are too many activists amongst the populace in the USA, period. It's not going to go away. It's going to build.
Yeah.
And they're using that as a leverage. Now they're going to another level. They actually they have the hard facts information, right? Oh, something else. About 80% of the leaks that took place in the last 50 years came from China and Russia.
Because
Did you
they
know
know everything that we're doing, so they're the ones
they pay
leaking.
people when a
Right.
person in the USA, when they need, all you have to do to a person in the USA is say, listen, your country is failing. Your country needs you, right? We're not going to tell you who we're from, but we're going to pay you some real cash. That's putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You pay someone, right? And you establish a loyalty, especially if that person needs it. And then they feel proud about what they're doing.
Yep.
And then they spread that around. Then
Feel
other
like they're
people
doing the
buy
right
into
thing.
it.
Yeah, they feel
That's
like they're
right.
doing
Other
to
people
help.
buy into it.
Yeah.
Because in their minds, it's patriotic, right?
Right.
How do you think that these people afford to coordinate at such a high level? Why do you think half these people are not worried about being jailed and all this, that, and the other, right? And we're talking about on all sides of government.
Yeah.
This is a problem, and it's so bad now you can't come out. They can't come out and announce this to the public. Why?
No.
Because the public will say it's a lie. Now they have the public totally bought, and I'm telling you right now, China is going to begin giving speeches on how America and China should work together. You won't mark my words, and you'll see it, and then you'll understand why they're doing it.
So you're saying
happening right now.
China will start giving speeches saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's work together. We got to work together. It's one
That's right.
planet." And
That's
and,
right.
and so those that are in on this are going to agree. They're going to agree with China. Okay, yeah, you're right. We do got to work together. It's better than being at war with one another. So you're saying this has all been planted. This has been part of the infiltrating of American society.
It's already done. It's already done.
And it's in process.
It's already done.
It's how you
It's already
take your
done.
country without firing a shot.